Hey everybody, it's your boy Jack here, and today in this video I'm going to be reviewing this comic here. Boom! The DC Doomsday Clock issue number 5 of 12. And I'm really excited to review this comic. Ultimately for me, I really do like this comic, and I like how they're trying to mesh the DC universe with the Watchmen universe, and I really find that really interesting, and I'm really excited to talk about this issue. Besides that, I'm wearing my Justice League shirt. Fun fact, if you know where this shirt is from, you can like it and let me know. But besides that, if you don't know where it's from, you can check the little card above. But besides me being shameless and self-promoing my butt, let's dive into the review. So ultimately, when it comes to the Doomsday Clock series, I really liked it and I found it really interesting. I like what they're doing with this comic story arc, and I find it really interesting and very well written. Ultimately, what I love about this issue as an individual issue is that it really focuses on the main DC characters. Compared to the past few issues where we've been really focusing on developing a lot of the newer characters in the Watchmen universe, and like Ozymandias, the Mime, and the Marionette, and even the Comedian, and the whereabouts of Dr. Manhattan. We spend this comic really focusing on Batman and even Superman, Lex Luthor, and Lois Lane, and we have a bit more of a focus there, even Johnny Thunder as well. But we have a lot more of a focus on those characters in this comic and everything, and I really like that because ultimately taking away that focus and more focusing on taking away the focus from the Watchmen characters and focusing it a bit more on the DC characters is really interesting. I ultimately like how they're integrating these characters into the universe because I like how in a way these both the Watchmen characters and the DC characters look so different and even have so many different views and opinions about everything, and I ultimately really appreciate that, and I like the conflict that they have. Something else I really like about this issue is the way that they're building the world. Ultimately, for me, I found that really interesting through the way that they're using news reports and everything to really address the idea of the Superman theory / the metahuman problem that's been going on, and the way that this has been dealt across the world. I like the sort of back article that they have about the different metahumans and their whereabouts and everything, and the different details and information, because ultimately that is some really great behind the scenes information, and I really do feel that that gives a really great idea of where Batman and even some of Batman and Superman and even some of the Watchmen characters relate to on the whole metahuman crisis. And ultimately, my favorite conversation that was had between, in this comic was between Batman and Ozymandias. Both are very interesting characters, and seeing Ozymandias go, talk to Lex Luthor, have a whole fight with the Comedian, and then come to Batman and have that whole contrast between Lex Luthor and Batman, and his whole conversation between both of them was really interesting, and I really did appreciate that. Ultimately, Batman was really, it was a really interesting conversation because once again it confronts the idea of vigilantism and how Batman is only one person, and by being a vigilante you can only do so much, and the whole conversation of how Ozymandias has tried to do so much being one person, yet Batman has done so little being one person, and that whole conversation there in the owl jet or whatever in the owl ship was just really, really fascinating, and I like that, and it just sort of attributes to Jeff Johns, who is the writer, and Gary Frank, who's the artist for the Doomsday Clock series. But besides that, something I love about this story is the ability of storytelling, and I sort of have to attribute that to Jeff Johns because I think the way that the story's written and everything, it gives you a really great chunk of information per issue that really does grow the story in a way, but also connects the story back to the other issues in the story itself. More specifically, in this issue, I sort of want to do a callback to issue number 1, where we see Batman and Lois Lane, and we also see the riots and everything as well, and that's sort of mirrored from the first issue into this issue, and I really like the mirroring that they use there. And yeah, I really did like that, and I felt like that's just one example of how they're sort of developing the story through different, like, through back issues, but also forward into the, like, future issues through storytelling. But besides that, the one problem I feel that I have when it comes to a comic books, like with this comic book series, is it's a really great series and it's very well written, but being a new comic book fan and not really investing time into the applicable comics before this series, I feel like I'm partially like I partially don't understand certain references, so I find like I'm researching a bit more in order to find these references. So I really do like and appreciate this comic, but obviously I want to do a bit more research about this comic in order to like understand it and understand some of the stories of the previous years about DC Comics itself. Besides that, thank you so much for watching, and let me know your thoughts about the Doomsday Clock issue number 5 of 12 down below in the comments, or any of the previous issues in the Doomsday Clock series. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Please feel free to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit post notifications if that is something that you are into. It's a little bell icon right beside the subscribe button if you did not know. Yeah, thank you so much. And but besides that, thank you so much. You have a good night, and bye.